Hello and welcome to the Matt and Shane Video Game Podcast, Week 2.
Week 2.
We made it. We did it.
We did it.
We're doing it again.
We pushed all the haters out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
We came back.
I gotta say, our first episode, Shane, that was a runaway success.
Yeah.
That was one of the best things we've ever done. We got up to 13th place.
So far.
So far, so good. Looking forward to it. Great to be back. Good to have you back.
Yes. And as always, I am Shane.
And I am Matt, in case that wasn't obvious.
Yes. I got a few people telling me that the way I did my intro last week was very plain.
Yeah?
I've done it plain again.
How did you say it?
I'm Shane.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's true, though. It's to the point.
It is.
I'm not
that's
really
what I said.
sure what these people expect of you.
Exactly.
Really?
They expect too much.
Way too much.
But then when they listen to the podcast, they're like, wow, I expected a lot, but I got more than I expected.
Is that what they actually said? They're making that up. No one said that, did they?
100% true.
Okay, I'll buy that. Anyway, moving on. Video games. This week, what have you been playing and what have you been buying, Shane?
So, I haven't bought anything new this week.
Really? That's strange for you.
It is, yeah.
Usually you're buying stuff and you're getting stuff.
Well, yeah, last week I bought 2 things, and this week I've bought none.
2 whole things, huh? Very good.
Yes, so didn't buy anything. I have been playing, so my most played game probably is Pokken Tournament still.
Mm-hmm. So we're up in week 3? Week 2?
Yeah, week something. I've now moved over to Breakson. I'm learning some tricks with Breakson.
Oh yeah, so you're zoner now.
Yeah, because Gengar, I think he's good, but because he's technical,
Dropped him, huh?
I just can't do the technical stuff as much.
Just can't get good, huh? You're just gonna keep changing mains in the hope that someday you'll get good at any character.
Pretty much. I'm hoping that because Breakson's got a bit more long range, and Gengar doesn't have too much long range, so I can do a lot more zoning around. I still have not gotten the what's it called, the Pokken Tournament Wii U Pro controller.
No,
it still hasn't arrived in Australia.
Still waiting, huh?
Still waiting. Week 3, and still have not gotten it, but week 1 in America.
No email from Nintendo or anything?
I don't think they can.
They haven't called you or anything?
I mean,
check your letterbox?
I've been checking my letterbox. They have not called. I'm waiting for EB Games to get it in stock, and I think it got pushed back a few more days.
Again?
They don't tell me. It just updates on their website automatically. I don't get informed.
When was the last time you were in there?
I was in there today.
Yeah? Did you have a look at some games?
I had a brief look.
Yeah? The one thing I noticed, well, when I looked at the games that were having a sale on, were they having a sale at your one?
They're always having sales.
Yeah, but a really particular sale.
They've just got a 2-4 sale at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
From what mine saw, yeah. What did you see?
Everything. PS3 to the 360 was all 2 for something, from 2 for 10 to 2 to 60, and every $10 increment in between. And I asked the guy, and he said that they're getting rid of all their stock. Well, EB Games is making that push to get rid of all the PS3, the 360, the PS3 games. They're starting to shift them out, So I was on it today,
Yes, well, we can definitely talk about that. It scares me a bit that, the console, I wouldn't say that I grew up with, but probably the console I was most invested in, because it was the teenage years, and, it was new and fancy. PS3 has always been that, high console, in my mind. It's scary to think that that's now being pushed aside. Yeah.
Relevant. Doesn't matter anymore. No one cares. No one gives a shit.
Oh. Damn. At least I've got my current gen Wii U, which is also being pushed aside.
That's last week's news, man. Who cares about that? So is that all you've been playing?
The other game I played, so I had a brief play of Soldier of Fortune 2, just to give it a go.
Yeah, test it out. Go to the options menu.
I went to the options menu and made sure violence was on.
Okay, was it on by default, or did you have to tick it?
It was definitely on.
How many levels of violence is there?
It's just on or off.
Okay.
So I don't know I don't know
you-
what happens when you turn it off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna be like. Did you try it without the violence just to see?
No, I might try that.
Okay. But you did play a bit.
I played a little bit just.
Did you kill anyone? Like, did you blow anyone's head off or anything like that?
Well, you start the game with like a pistol and a knife.
Ah.
Now, when I first played, it's been a while since I played an old first-person shooter on a console. It was a bit weird. So the first thing I did was shoot some guys. I killed them. I then found out I had a knife, switched to that knife, and then hacked his hand off.
Oh, wow.
And it just came off.
Just came right off, huh?
And then I tried to hack his head off, and he was wearing a hood. So I think the hood is part of the body. So the hood stayed where it was, but the head just kind of sunk into the hood and then disappeared. So I don't know what went on.
Wow, okay, that's interesting.
But I found I had more fun because I played through the first level and then died right at the end.
Oh,
I had more fun just running around throwing knives because if you throw a knife at someone, it sticks in them.
Yeah.
And then they fall down, and then you can go up and grab it. And it actually sticks in them and makes a mark where they were. And this is Xbox original, so it's pretty cool. And then the last game, a bunch of us at work. There's a free game on the App Store this week. It's called Motorsport Management. Think of Football Manager.
Oh yeah, a game I'm super familiar with.
Super familiar with.
Love it. Get it every year.
Every year.
Better than FIFA for sure.
Oh, much better. Still a very high playing game on Steam. Think of that, but with motorsport instead of soccer.
Motorsport, so like motocross.
It's like F1 racing.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't know if it's just that it's something about watching dots. So you don't see the car, you see a dot go around a racetrack. And being able to tell it to push and slow down and pit and then choose. There's just something about it. And you just, like, 90% of the time...
Isn't that the driver's job, though? To decide whether it goes fast or not?
No, I like, so you don't have any control of, like, accelerating, decelerating, or how to do stuff, but you can just tell them to, like, push it. So you're just kind of in the area going, you fucking drive faster.
Oh, okay.
That's how I imagine it in my head. Yeah,
motivating.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you push them, they tend to...
You push them?
You push. It's called push.
So, can you pull them, or you just can only push them?
See, the pulling happens between the races.
Okay.
They got to de-stress somehow.
Oh, not that kind of pulling.
Oh.
How could you say something like that on the podcast?
Whoops. So anyway, you push them, and then they tend to make faults because they're under stress, and you
push them so hard.
Yeah.
Psychologically.
Yeah.
They're unable to deal with the pushing.
And then they spin
push them
out
too
stuff.
far. Yeah.
So like I had a couple times I've had. So you can hire and fire these drivers, and you can hire and fire like managers in the pits and all sorts of stuff. It's a pretty fun game. It's free at the moment.
Do you have to manage like the extraordinary cost of an F1 car? Like those cars cost like
I'm constantly around negative $900,000.
Yeah, well,
is my bank balance.
That's just part of it, you know. The big investment.
It is.
Is there microtransactions in the game?
Yes, there are.
Can you buy like?
I can buy money.
And what's the conversion?
I think like $7 is like a couple million or something.
Ooh,
I can't remember. I haven't looked into it because I don't really want to.
Why not? It's where
it's the only way I can go pro mat. I know, but so anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. I've had some times where you're watching dots, but I've had times where I've just wanted to just throw my phone.
Yeah,
because there's times where you come in first and you
is that just iOS game or Android as well? I'm not too sure. You'd only know iOS.
I don't know iOS. It's currently free this week, so by the time this goes out, it will not be free anymore. But it's pretty fun.
Cool. And
that has been my week, and I've definitely wasted more time than I probably should have watching dots go around a fake racetrack.
Yeah, well, that's not too bad, man.
It's not too bad, yeah.
That's good.
Cool. And what have you been playing, buying?
Well, I thought I wasn't gonna get much playing or buying done. I definitely got a lot of buying done today.
Ooh,
I bought 10 games, so I'll have to go through them
10.
very quickly. But to lead up to that, I was still doing Red Dead, still going through that nice and slow, enjoying it like a fine whiskey or something like that.
Yep.
And then I also had a friend over. We were playing a bit of Bully for PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah.
Or what do they call it here in this country? Canis Canem Eat It or something like that. Some Latin thing because we couldn't have the word bully in the name of a game. They were not having that.
They would not have it, so they named it after the school.
No.
I think.
Bullsworth
School's
is the name of the
Bullsworth
school.
Academy. Yeah. So I don't know. How did they get that name?
They just pulled it out of a hat and then
I guess
And
as
then
long as it somehow.
random Latin words.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I don't think we'll ever really know the answer to that question, Shane.
No.
But
I don't think we ever will.
But that game is really fun. That's another good Rockstar game. I'm on the Rockstar roll right now.
You are. But that's not a bad thing. Rockstar, they make
They're
solid games that you can invest time in.
not just Grand Theft Auto.
No.
They make other games such as ping pong,
Table tennis.
That same thing, same fucking thing.
No, it's not.
Okay. So I played a bit of Bully, and I went to the Time Zone near me the other day, which is like the arcade basically,
Yes.
and had a pretty good time and really enjoyed playing a lot of the racing games that they had there. Like I haven't really been into racing games too much in the past. I played a lot of Burnout 3 when I was a kid and a bit of Gran Turismo. But like I said last week, I got Grid. I've been getting into like racing games a bit more.
Yep.
And
Have you played Grid?
Not anymore since then, though. I was like, after my day at the arcade playing all the racing games, I was like, oh, I'm ready to apply what I've learned to Grid, but it didn't end up happening.
That's
now,
if you want, I can manage your virtual racing career.
Yeah, I'll have
With my
when I'm
skills.
playing Grid. I'll have you on the phone, and you can manage my Grid racing. It'll be great. But yeah, I really recommend. I like really miss like that arcade feel, you know, and like especially with racing games and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when you get to sit in the big seat and like it's like a whole different thing to like playing with a controller, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you get to like use the gear stick and stuff and like do sick drifts and stuff and like feel the seat movements. It's all really cool. They had lots of good ones at that time zone.
Was there a particular one that because I've played, obviously you play the really old ones, but then I think there's a Fast and Furious one I've played a bit of, which is probably the most modern one.
Mm-hmm.
What because I was at an arcade the other day and there was like this super new virtual racing game.
Virtual racing.
I don't know what it was called. It was, you know.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to any of the names of the ones I go into.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this looks good. Look at this car. And like, yeah, the best one I probably played was this, I think it was a Japanese one. I just know it had Japanese text on the name. It probably had an English one underneath it, but I didn't read it. I knew it was by Namco, so I was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for, really.
A Namco racer.
Yeah, I'm like, Namco, yeah, there you go. That's sweet. And there was a Mario Kart one as well. Mario Kart DX, I think.
That one's a bit weird.
Bit weird, you say?
I played it. I played it once or twice, and it just. I guess I'm so used to playing on a Wii U. I just found it a bit strange actually playing a Mario game. Just playing it with a steering wheel, it just felt weird to me for some reason.
No,
I don't know why.
It felt good.
Yeah.
And like Mario Kart 7, that was the one that came out on the Wii, I think, and it came with the steering wheel accessory. You know, you put the Wii mode inside the.
Yeah, that's weird though.
It didn't. That didn't feel good.
No.
That felt strange to me, but like
you're holding it in the middle of the air and it just hurts your hands.
No, but it was fine with the in the arcade. That was great, and they had the drift mechanic. That was pretty cool too. And like, there's lots of little things. So it's like it's Mario Kart, you know, and love, but in that sort of peripheral, and you know, it's nice.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it seems that like sometimes people can, like when I was at the arcade, there was this new one, which you could buy a card, and then like I think use the card to keep your point value.
Yeah,
or
dude,
something.
I think that was the one I was talking about because that one had one as well.
And like there was a machine separate from all these machines where you would swipe your card and enter your details and stuff. And there were like I was in the arcade for maybe like an hour and a half. And I walked in and there were people because there was 4 of these races.
Yeah.
All linked together because I'm guessing it's a linked co-op play or
Yeah.
whatever. And then legitimately I walked in and there were 4 people sitting on all of them playing them, and they were still there when I was leaving. They never got up.
Oh, true. That's
just constantly. I know. I wanted to play it because it looked so new and good, but they were like they must have some sort of competitive league of an arcade racer or something.
Just sort of give other people a turn. That's a bit rude.
I know. But obviously it must be some competitive game because they've got those card things. But it's definitely cool that people are actually like.
It's fun to verse people.
Oh
that
yeah,
way there. Because the first time I jumped onto that one with the card mechanic and stuff, I just like ended up selecting my own options and stuff, and then I realized that I was racing the guy 2 seats down from me, and like we both like looked at each other and just like, yeah, dude, and like he had a whole posse of friends with him and stuff. And then I beat him. It was like a really cool close race. I think it had a really cool like I don't know, but like there wasn't too many cornering tracks, which I didn't like because I like drifting.
It definitely is very satisfying doing a drift.
Yeah, there were a few ones like that, but not this particular one. It was basically just drive down a motorway and stuff, and it had a good selection of cars, but it was like he would go in front and then I would go in front, he would go in front, I would go in front. We stuck with each other really well, and then right at the end I just went past him and won.
Boom. Did you flip him off?
No, I gave him a nod of acknowledgement, I think. And
did his posse cheer for him or like give him a commiserations?
No, they were just watching, really. They weren't really too into it. I wish it could have been a more exciting story than that, but it really wasn't. And then we both awkwardly got up and walked past each other, and I was just like, okay.
So you didn't become friends or anything? You just he acknowledged that you were better than him, and then you...
Oh, that was just one race. Oh, no. Maybe next time I go back, he'll be there.
Maybe
we'll race again.
You can have some sort of, like, no talking, just... head nods and
respect,
we know what's going
mutual
on.
respect for each other as racers of this fucking arcade game. But yeah, so I've been playing that.
That's cool.
Played a few shooters. They had Point Blank there, Time Crisis. They had 3 House of the Deads there. And we
3?
Yeah, they got 2. House of the Dead 2, House of the Dead 3. House of the Dead, I guess... it didn't say 4, but it was like the new one. The newest one. So I didn't get to go on the newest one, which I really wanted to because it wasn't part of the package deal I got. It was like a different tier of game that you can get, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I really wanted to try it, but I didn't get to. So we should go there sometime and try the racing games and try that House of the Dead.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't go to an arcade enough.
No, it's lots of fun, actually. Even shit like the dodging cars and laser tag and that is still
really fun. They were
dodging
cars?
Yeah, they got dodging cars.
Wow.
Drifting off for real.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Yeah, too easy.
So that was that, and I also went to. Speaking of poker, I went to the local game store. You know the one, Good Games near me.
Yes.
They have a fighting games night every Tuesday now.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yeah, so I went to that one for the first time with our buddy Jesse and Willie.
Yep.
And we went there to go play Smash Brothers Melee, but they also had Pokken set up as well.
Oh, nice. Was there a lot of people?
All up?
Playing Pokken.
There was only the one setup, and it was basically... I think the guy who brought that setup wasn't even playing it, because he was the guy that like organizes the whole thing, and he's just like, I'll bring the Wii U and a setup for it as well, and just let people play on it. So a few people playing, and I went over and had a go, and I lost, which was disappointing.
Wow,
I thought I'd be all legit.
Yeah, because you at least played it. Like we played a couple hours of it.
Yeah, I didn't like lose badly. Well, I just got cinched out. And those ultimate moves, man.
Oh man,
take a lot of health away.
You got to know like when they come in, or like be very defensive as soon as they pop the burst. And yeah, so how many people were there in total? Like how many people go to that each week?
Apparently that was like one of the best weeks for attendance that they had.
Yeah.
I guess at the peak there was somewhere between, I'd say around 25. 25 to 30, because that's just the people playing fighting games, and then they also have like they were having that Dragon Ball Z trading game.
Yeah,
it was the same night for. Yeah, I wish I had to go and take a look at the people playing it and like see how it worked and all that shit, but I didn't. But there was like just as many people doing that as well.
That's cool.
And I stayed the whole night, and it was pretty good environment. So like I like doing. I might go back to some of it. I'm absolutely trash at Melee though, so.
Yeah.
Like, I lost, like, all my games and stuff, but I still had fun.
Yeah, like, I guess as long as they're not too competitive, like, if you're able to jump in and have some fun, that's awesome.
See, like, the kids that are, like, really good are, like, super competitive, but because they're so good, they don't even, like, I don't even play with them. No. The best player in Queensland showed up.
Wow.
With Smash. And then we had a few rage quits that night, but it was alright. It was just funny to watch, really.
Any controller throws?
Yeah, a few controller slams and a few.
Were they their own controllers or someone? Okay.
And a few walkouts. That's fine. But that's fine.
The salt is real.
Yeah, it was pretty. It got heated at points.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
That's cool. I would like to go along to more of those things. I just get very awkward.
Oh, dude, I felt so awkward at some points. I was just like, oh god, because I was playing so bad, and then like. The way brain internalizes it, and it's just like frustration of like, what the hell am I supposed to do in this situation? Like, there's nothing I can do to fix it, and it's alright when you're just playing, because I was playing a lot with my mates who I play with a lot, but when you're playing against people you don't know and you're just like getting absolutely wrecked, it's just like
That's what stops me from going, because I'm cool. Like I am too scared to go. Not scared, but my mind doesn't want me to go to one on my own.
No,
like I'd rather
go to
have
some buddies there.
Yeah, like I want to go to the Pokemon thing at the shop near me tomorrow. But I think I might go. But I just keep thinking, like, if I walk in, I'm not going to know anyone, and then if I get destroyed, I'm going to feel shit. So I don't know.
You should try it out.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Nothing bad's going to happen, so you just might feel weird, and then just leave. No one will care anyway.
No, yeah, true.
That's the main thing is people just don't care.
Yeah, I'll just try not to like flip the table.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not the one rage quitting, then
definitely not.
Cool. Anything else? Oh,
God, I haven't even gotten into.
You haven't even got
into it.
What else
have just been things I've been going to.
What else have you been playing?
I bought Master of Orion 1 and 2 on Good Old Games yesterday. Yep. That's the first one is a MS-DOS game. Yep. So it's a DOS game, and I think the second one is too. I've only been playing the first one because obviously I played the first one first. It's a space 4X game, and I didn't even know I haven't played many 4X. Like, I've always known about 4X games like Civ and Total War and stuff like that. I never knew what the 4X stood for, but it was Explore, Expand, Exploit, and Exterminate. I was like, oh, yeah.
I always thought it had something to do with the grid system.
No.
Okay.
Explore, Expand, Exploit, Exterminate. 4 X's. There you go. Learn something new.
4X. It's not just beer.
It's not just for beer anymore. It's for video games too. So yeah, that is a game with a lot to it. It's like I said, it's a space game. It's a strategy game. It came with like a 153-page manual, which I haven't read because
digital manual. Digital PDF.
Yeah, because it's on Good Old Games. You just download it all, and that's a really good client service as well.
I have not. I've never purchased anything from GOG.
Oh, it should. Well, if you find it's for very particular things that you want that they'll have. Yeah. This is the only reason I'd buy it.
It's the best way to get old games that run on current hardware, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's got an inbuilt DOS box on it, or something like that. Sometimes you'll have issues with sound though.
Okay, because they were very weird with because all the sound cards back in the day were very strange and things changing. You needed like sound blasters for this. And,
yeah. So that's the thing. In this game, I think there's been a few sound assets missing, but apparently there wasn't that much sound in those old games anyway. At least the Master of Orion. So I just play my own music over the top of it.
Do you play like space themed music or?
Yeah, like ambient spacey music. Yeah.
Nice.
Get right into the groove. Basically, it's a game where you compete against AI. So I think usually you play against 5 other space races, and like, and you basically colonize planets, build industries, and like basically try and take over the galaxy. And there's the level of depth that I've seen in that game, and the amount of like game design, like the quality of the game design is like crazy, man. I haven't even like played it properly yet because I've tried playing it on my own. I was just like, I don't understand how to play it. Looked up on YouTube of like some guy going through like a run through and just watched him play, and it was just super interesting. So I'm learning through him like how the game actually works, and then I start my own game.
That's cool. I guess that's the cool thing about some of the Let's Plays and stuff is you can use it to get a grasp of the game.
Learning the game, yeah.
Yeah. Rather than having to read the 193-page manual.
Totally, but I think I might do that anyway, just for a laugh. Just because, like, I enjoy those like really big manuals, like Syndicate, which was another CD-ROM game that I also got on Good Old Games, which also had problems with the sound. Has a similar kind of thing, and it's just like a bunch of lore and like the amount of creative. It's not just like, oh, you do this to do this, you do this to do this. It's like puts a lot of creativity in their manuals back then. Yeah. Definitely not something that you see today.
Well, I mean, you don't see manuals really at all these days. So that's 2 games.
That's 2 games. And then today, I went to the local mall and checked out the EB Games. And like I said, I saw the sale that they were having. And I was like, oh, shit. They're getting rid of the stock. I need to grab what I can, see if I can find anything good and grab that. And
so what'd you get?
The one that I got that I was like, yeah, I need to make sure I get this one is Dragon's Crown.
Okay.
For PS3, do you remember that one?
No, not at all.
That's the Atlas side-scroller beat-em-up that Metal Jesus did on his video one time.
Oh, yeah, that's one with the...
weird art style, yeah.
It's a very cool art design, but it's very... The character designs are very...
The proportions are a bit odd. And even the guy mentioned that when I was buying it off it, even though he called it Dragon's Quest and not Dragon's Crown, but he still knew which game I was. He just got the title wrong.
Alright, that's cool.
And I was like, and he was like, yeah, like the art style is like really weird and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm not too concerned with the art style. I'm more interested in like good, interesting gameplay. I certainly reckon I'll get that out of it. And like, you'll have to come over. I'll need to get like another PS3 controller because I've only got one. But
I've got some.
That's something we can jam sometime.
Oh,
I'm keen to do that, and you can do it online as well. Oh well, you need to get a copy too.
How much?
How much for this?
Yeah.
30.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, actually, the sticker, the pre-owned sticker on it said 29, and then they made it part of the 2 for 30. So technically, I paid 15 for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So basically, I was free to just get one free game with the same sticker on it. I ended up getting Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is the Assassin's Creed where it's like pirates as well.
Yes, I own the game.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty good, and I've had a few people say that it's the best Assassin's Creed game. I was never really a big fan of Assassin's Creed. Like, I've seen other people play it and go, oh yeah, that's cool. But like...
I 100%ed the first one.
Yeah?
Like...
I don't even know how many there are now. There's like 10?
20.
Yeah.
I don't know, I have no idea, but yeah, because I actually, I never owned it, because when one of our mates first bought a PS3, sorry, he got Assassin's Creed, because at the time it was like, such a like, wow, this game is amazing, and it shows off the hardware really well at the time. So then I borrowed it and haven't given it back, still got it. But,
oh man, if that guy's listening, go beat up Shane.
Yeah.
Go get your game back.
At the time, yeah, I played it, and for some reason, I fell in love with it. I think my imagination liked it more than the game itself because it didn't fully let you kind of have a lot of free roam with how you did the assassinations, but it made you, when you were planning them, because you had to go and talk to everyone, and so I talked to like every NPC, every side mission thing, to make sure that I got every detail of where this person's going to be, so I could like do the sickest assassination.
Okay.
And in the end, it all turned out to like sneak in, jump in, and because I wanted to sneak in, kill them, sneak out.
Yeah.
But it always turned into sneak in, get caught, quickly stab them, do the little cutscene thing. All of a sudden, 1,000 guards on you and just run away. So yeah, but yeah, I 100% of that game, and then I never did much with the second one.
No.
And then that was pretty much it.
And
but
you've
I
got
own
Black Flag. Never
I own it.
Yeah, Jess has got it, and I think he said it's his favorite one. And like, I just like it because it's pirate themed, and like, I'm pretty down with like pirate games and stuff like that. There's not too many good pirate games, just like westerns, really. But like, good ones are pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of people have said it's one of their favorites. I think because it was at the time, it was quite a departure from the standard kind of what they were doing with Assassin's Creed and doing the whole ship combat and stuff. It definitely looks awesome. I think if you're going to play through it, maybe we can do like a double playthrough. I'll play and you play.
Sure, we should do that for Red Dead as well. You should fucking play that.
Yeah, I should definitely pick that up. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so that was me at EB. And I also asked him about that, because it was April 1st, like the 1st of the month.
Yeah.
Asked him about the download code for the new Pokemon.
It's a mystery e-store.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
But next month
is physical code.
Apparently. So that's what they said anyway. So I've yet to download it yet.
I need to do that actually.
It was Jirachi, wasn't it? We said this last week, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, we'll see. Anyway. So
we're definitely on top of the...
At that mall, I had heard there was a new retro gaming store that had recently opened. It's called...
Which is they're a rare thing at times in Australia.
Definitely. Especially around my neck of the woods, where there's only really one other place you can go to get retro games of like a good quality, and like instead of like, other than that, you just go into garage sales and buying shit off Gumtree.
Fighting other people online. Yeah.
This is a store. It was super retro in Rabina Town Center. I'll give it a shout out because it was pretty good. And I went in there and I picked up another 8 games because I was just like, yeah, I better pick these up because they're pretty good.
Damn. You bought more than I have probably in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I bought a lot of games, but I'm going to play them all, so that's fine. So I'll go through them real quick.
Cool.
First off, these aren't even like retro games, but I got Mortal Kombat Complete Edition, the 2011 Mortal Kombat game.
Oh yeah, but that has all of the originals and stuff in it, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Like it has the Mortal Kombat original and then Mortal Kombat 2 and stuff, doesn't it? Oh, it doesn't?
No.
What does it have?
This is just a reboot of the franchise I did in 2011.
Oh, okay. I must be thinking of
and completed. Yeah, there's a arcade edition.
Okay.
You can get that on PSN.
Yeah, I think I may have one on Steam as well, and it's like they're really weird with their naming schemes. Some of them.
Yes, they definitely are. But this is when they rebooted it, so that's why it's just Mortal Kombat. And it comes with all the DLC, which is like 4 characters and a bunch of skins. And like that's the only one that I got today that I've actually been able to play. And like I enjoyed it heaps so far because I'm getting really into Mortal Kombat a lot. And like
even the movies?
Yeah, I watched the movies and like the movie was terrible. Like the 95 movie was absolutely shit, but I still enjoyed watching it.
It's so cheesy, I guess.
You can appreciate what they were trying to do, It's just like, how do you turn this into a movie, And like for everything good that they did something equally shit. So it was like, worked out pretty alright for me.
It's like subpar. All the good things were cancelled out by the bad things, but it wasn't too much bad.
No. But this game is really good, and I'm enjoying the story mode in it a lot so far, and the way it flows from different characters and different fights and stuff. That's very good.
I always found story modes in fighting games kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this happens, and that way then we're placed in a 2D fighting plane.
Yeah.
And this happens, and then we're fighting somewhere else.
Yeah, well, this has a story and lore, and the characters will make sense if you sort of understand it going in. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's a lot like, obviously it's a lot like the sequel Mortal Kombat X, which is on PS4 and Xbox One, which I'd grab if I had either of those consoles.
Yes, but, I have neither.
Yeah, but the only thing that they do different in this game, which I don't like, which is a very small thing, I like that they don't do environmental interactions, for one. I like that.
I really enjoyed it being all about the actual fighting skill rather than what's happening and other effects.
Yeah, but have you ever played Mortal Kombat X?
No.
Well, like every time the characters they both come to the battlefield, they'll like say something, and like in this one that like I played Scorpion a lot, and Scorpion just says the same thing every time, and then whoever they're versing will always say the same thing they're saying every time. In Mortal Kombat X, they'll always have a unique well, not unique, but like a specific interaction based on which like characters there are.
Oh, okay.
And I think they recorded like 2 or 3 for each one. You know,
that's cool.
So Scorpion and Sub-Zero meet. There's like 3 different interactions they could have, and they even have really interactions for like if Scorpion fights another Scorpion. They're like, oh well, how are you? How am I fighting myself? You know, kind of thing.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's just like a small detail that like I really enjoy about it.
Yeah. Because
to me, Mortal Kombat is about the characters and the lore and the story, and not really so much like the fighting is good. Don't get me wrong, but that's where the appeal to me comes from. So that's one of the games I bought. Vanquish, the PS3, the Sega game. Do you remember seeing this one? We'd see it for a couple bucks.
Oh yeah, that's the one with the like holographic front cover. Yeah.
I didn't actually get one with the holographic cover.
Ooh.
Disappointing. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Last was basically just a third-person shooter from Sega. So, you know, can't really go too wrong there. Heard it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I went through the PlayStation 2 stuff they had there. First one I got was, saw straight off the bat and just grabbed it off the shelf was Mark of Kree. Straight away.
That was the one, we've been looking for that for a bit, haven't we?
For a bit, yeah, for a long while.
Yeah.
That's just a adventure game, third-person adventure game for PlayStation 2. Grabbed that pretty cheap. There's a bit of a hole in the cover as well, which I'm not too happy about. But for the price I paid for it, which is pretty low, not too bothered by that.
Yeah, I mean, some people prefer it's as long as the game works, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do prefer having having the manual also.
I'm actually looking at it now, and the rating is like not even on the case. It's like somehow taped on, like someone like printed off MA15 Plus, cut it out on cardboard.
Oh, so it's not stuck to the actual...
No, plastic. It's taped on.
It's taped, oh.
I wonder what's underneath. Maybe this is like the European one or something? I don't understand. I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
If I can be taking it off.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to damage the cover too much.
Yeah. All these came in like fairly good nick. They all came with the manuals, which I noticed.
Ooh, that's nice.
So that was pretty good. Another PS2 game I got was Flat Out 2.
Okay.
So that's a racing game. That's by Bugbear. So you might know him as the guy who would go on to create Next Car Racing Game.
Oh,
and then abandon Next Car Racing Game.
Yes, I bought into the slight hype of that game.
I may have too.
And yeah, my computer was like, I don't know if I can run this.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I played a little bit of it. And then
don't worry, it's early access. I'll just patch it later. Oh wait, he's gone.
Yeah.
He took the money and run. He already got his money. But yeah, so this was him back when he was switched on. And I didn't know they made this for PS2 actually. I thought it was an Xbox original only. They had a lot of really good Xbox original games. You should go and check it out sometime. I know it's one thing they had both X-Men Legend games, and they had like a bunch of them, and they were really good. And they had some good stuff set up as well. They had Melee set up there that you can go and sit down and play it. Mario Kart 64 and Super Mario World as well.
Oh,
that had so many 64 games too, man. Like tons. And they had Japanese Super Famicom games, like SNES games, a few NES games, a few Game Boy games. Not too much PlayStation 1, actually. Not too much of that Dreamcast they had. And they sold consoles there as well.
Sounds like a very well-rounded store.
The prices are a bit, they go either way, though. Like, some stuff is really, you look at it and go, oh, wow, that's overpriced. And then some stuff is like, wow, that's underpriced. So I just tried to grab all the good price stuff.
The underpriced stuff.
Yeah. And then I got Area 51 for PlayStation 2.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to play that when I was younger, yeah.
Yeah. I've heard it's been a bit of an underrated gem. Like, it's a midway game, so same people as Mortal Kombat, actually. Oh, and so is the other game that I got. The other PS2 game. So that's basically I think that's a first-person shooter, not a third-person. And you're like a military shooter, but you fight aliens and stuff.
It looks first person.
Yeah, so that looked pretty good. And the last PS2 game I got was Psyops: The Mindgate Conspiracy. So that's
I've not heard of that.
That's a it doesn't. I'm not too sure whether... I think it would be third person, but it's like a shooter, same kind of vein, except you have like, I don't know, psycho powers. Pyrokinesis, telekinesis, mind drain, that kind of stuff. So that had a pretty high rating as well, so I thought I'd grab that one as well. Because you never know, like the ones that you don't get, those are the ones you come back to go get, and they're not there anymore.
Gone. That's the worst.
And then I went and had a look at the GameCube games, and they had some good GameCube games. They didn't have a super good collection, but I had two there that I had to grab, so I grabbed those. One of them was Rogue Leader. Rogue Squadron 2, same as what you have.
Nice.
Got it pretty...
Which, I believe Rogue Squadron, just briefly, Rogue Squadron has been added to Steam.
It's been added to what?
It's on Steam now.
Oh, really? So the first one?
So the first one, yeah.
They had that, the N64 one?
Yes.
They had that at the store, and they also had the third one as well. And they also had Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which is supposed to be a pretty good game, but it was too much for me. So hopefully that's still there when I go back next time. But they had Double Dash as well, but Double Dash was going for $60. And they had 2 copies of Melee there, but guess how much they were going for?
I'm gonna say 80.
10 more. 90.
Oh.
$90.
Damn, that's a lot.
That game has gone super rare. I'm glad I got it for 50. So, and that's what most of the people I know got it for too. So I don't know whether they're just overcharging for it or if the price has just gone up for it.
I mean, if they have 2 copies, it's interesting they're charging that much if they've got 2.
Yeah, for sure. And so the last game I got, lucky last, was Pikmin.
On the original?
Yeah, Pikmin
that's
1.
cool.
I was pretty happy to grab that.
I've actually never, because I missed out on the GameCube when I was a kid, so
so did I. I remember always seeing it in magazines and stuff like that and thought, man, that game was cool and unique, you know?
Yeah, but I had a weird phase where my mind was the PS2 is the best console ever made. Fuck the GameCube when I was going through that kind of era, because I was always like, man, the PS2 so good, and then I always thought the GameCube was just like, eh.
Yeah, certainly underrated, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I never got one. I never wanted one until like last year.
Yeah.
And then I was like, damn, there's so many games I want for this, but and apparently the hardware in it actually outperforms the PS2.
Yeah, I've heard that. It goes Xbox and GameCube and PS2, which you wouldn't think, but that's the way it goes.
But it's just because of the disc size.
Yeah,
it means they're limited to what they can actually do. And the way Nintendo do their horrible bloody licensing and piracy-free crap. Anyway.
There you go. And so that was my gaming this week.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad. I've got a lot to go. I'm going to be away the whole weekend. By the time you hear this, I'll just be coming back, so I didn't get to play any of the games.
Oh, damn.
I'm going to have to wait until next weekend.
Sneak some time in.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll have to. What you should do is see if you can pick up Motorsport Manager.
Yeah, has it got co-op?
No.
It should.
It should.
Game of the year right there. All right, moving on.
Yes. So briefly, we just finished playing a little game on Steam.
Oh yeah. Oh god, that was shit. That was terrible.
Don't say that. So
check it out. The video is great. The video is great, but the game not so good.
So we're also started. We just started putting stuff on YouTube as of 2 days, I guess, before this podcast goes out.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and do every week. I'm thinking we're gonna try and put a little let's play out.
Oh, I wouldn't call it a let's play though.
No, like a.
Let's try it out.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go.
Let's give it a good old try, kind of thing. Where what we're going to try and do is still title TBA.
Fair go, Matt and Shane's fair go.
That's not bad. And we're actually going to we're going on Steam or could be any other platform. Finding a really cheap game, either
just as cheap as you can get them. That's what we'll buy them for, or free.
It'll either be cheap because it's on sale, or cheap because it's either free or
they didn't want to charge that much for it because
it wasn't a good game.
No.
And we're then going to put a little play of us, jumping in, starting off playing it.
Go watch it. Just go watch it.
Go watch it. There'll be a link in the description of wherever you're listening or watching.
All right, move on from that terrible experience.
Yes. So I guess we'll quickly then, we've all talked about what we've played, so we'll go on to some little topics wanted to talk about.
We talked about those, really.
Oh, well, we didn't too much.
If you've got anything to add.
Yeah, so the one thing that we were thinking, so with Matt buying the game on GOG, coming with the 150 page manual, it's old games, especially I think old PC games mainly, some of those, those big either strategy or flight sim games. They all came with really nice manuals, physical hand manuals, even stuff like the Pokemon games, or even something like San Andreas. The manual it's just so heavily dripped in
well
theme.
crafted,
Yeah, and it gives you something outside of the game to actually get your hands on and have a play with. We just wanted to RIP physical game menus. I also just wanted to, I guess, something I've been thinking of is they're doing a lot of guidebooks these days. I've been buying some guidebooks, and I've
for games you own. I hope.
For games, mostly games. Yes, games I own, and I think it's just that feeling of like I hate using them to actually walk through the game, but I buy them anyway. And I think it's just that feeling of having something about the game that's mostly quite heavily themed.
Those are the only kinds of books that you buy, isn't it, Shane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly. So I mean, I've got the Fallout 4 game guide thing, like the hardcover one. It's just nice to be able to look through everything about the game. And it's just nice having something physically there.
It's got some nice pictures in it. That's always good to look at.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that I like to look at a good old high res picture and touch and feel it.
I'll just quickly say on the subject of game manuals and stuff like that. While it is nice to play devil's advocate and say that like, oh, it's nice when we had all these long games didn't have tutorials that just went on and on and on, and you had these manuals where you could just look it up. It kind of goes both ways though, because like I said, when I was playing Master of Orion, I started it off. I was just like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Yeah. No tutorial or anything. It's just like, oh my god, I don't know how to play the game. And it's a 153 page long book, Well, it's nice to have. It's just like there should be some kind of middle ground, I feel anyway.
You don't want to have to read that just to play the game.
Just a little bit of a tutorial just to show you. Not like they kind of hit the mark in the PS2 era, I reckon, with that, where you'd have good manuals, or even earlier than that, PS1 and 6.4 and stuff like that. You'd have really good manuals that gave lots of good information and stuff, but the game would sort of teach you a little bit about how to play itself. Yeah. And then you have like GTA nowadays, where the tutorial goes for the first quarter of the whole fucking game, or third of the whole game. You're still doing tutorial kind of stuff.
Yeah, like they do try and hide it with the whole like.
No, they don't, because you can't skip that crap when it comes up.
No, but they don't do the whole. You're not like, they don't take you to something and say, here's how to shoot this stuff, and then it's not separate from the game's story. So at least Grand Theft Auto, they try and put it slightly into the story with like.
PS2 era was the best when they integrated it. It's a bit jarring now, I feel, but maybe that's because I've played so many GTA games that it's like, oh, you go to an ammunition to buy guns. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess
it's playing a game you've never played before, like a franchise you've never played before. It's probably nice that they do it every time. It's like if you're jumping into GTA 5 and you never played the early ones, it's
you're
nice.
Too young.
It's nice they're slowly bringing it in. But R18's a whole nother debate. But I guess I hated it. I remember when I first launched GTA 4, and actually GTA 4 was different because like it had gone to a new gen. Never having it on Xbox, always playing on PS2. They completely changed the control scheme.
Oh, I would say completely changed.
Well, they like the driving in car went from pressing X to the triggers.
Yeah, okay.
And then X
enough.
was then handbrake. So it was kind of nice, but then it gets through the whole thing of like, every time San Andreas is this the worst. You die, and you go to the hospital, and it would spend like a minute letting you not skip through the whole this is what happens when you die. This happens, and
Yeah,
it's like,
you know what the
no.
trick is to that is? Just don't die.
That
Just
is a
never
good trick.
die, so the game will not have to tell you what to do.
Or if you're
after you
about to die, just start load game.
Yeah.
And always save after every mission.
That's right. Always save after every mission.
That's how you beat the game.
Mm-hmm. And now
Cool.
I got auto-save. But yeah, good.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, so on to stuff, like some news. So Nintendo, talking about Nintendo as we always like to, they released an app called Miitomo, I believe is how you meant
What
to say
an
it.
amazing app. Just crazy.
Yeah, it's...
Do you like making memes? Yes? Well, then this is the app for you, my friend.
This is the app for you to make a me.
Say goodbye to Facebook, everybody.
Well, you say that. The only way to add a friend in this
You
game...
gotta explain what it is first.
Okay. So you launch the game, you create a me that looks like you. You have to log into your Nintendo account or create one. You create a me. I don't know if it's just me being weird, but I do like the level of customization they've actually added to the me creations.
It's still bad.
It's still basic and it's still not the greatest, but it's definitely more than they've done on most of the consoles. Like the Wii had horrible ones.
Yeah.
So then you make the me. You can do the whole like take a photo of yourself and it will try and make one.
Mm-hmm.
It always just looks like like a horrible plastic surgery job.
Yeah.
Every time. Like this one will actually just constantly take photos of you and it takes like 20 photos or whatever, and it just tries to make one each time, and they always look bad. So you
start from scratch.
Yeah, you create a me, and then once you've created a me, you can then purchase with in-game gold, which you earn by
gold coins
doing
questions or some
answering
shit.
questions.
They asked me what my favorite food was.
What did you say your favorite?
I said, how could I possibly pick just one?
Did you actually?
Yeah, you can type in whatever you want.
That's true, and you have to set what your voice sounds like.
How could you? What's your favorite food, Shane?
I said chicken McNuggets because I love me some chicken McNuggets.
That's fair enough, but like, come on, out of every single food ever, you gotta pick one. Can't do it. Can't be done.
I don't know.
Not for me, anyway. That's just
not for you. So you get to choose what your voice is meant to sound like,
yeah,
and the game will talk as you. It's weird.
Couldn't get one to sound like me at all.
No.
You couldn't get one really deep sounding either.
No, you could add like a depth, but then it would just make it like really strange sounding. So you make your little me and you customize the voice, and then once you've made the face, body type, and voice, you can never change that again.
It's locked in, for sure.
It's locked in.
I thought that I had locked in myself as a girl somehow. Because when I went to look at the clothes and stuff you can buy, it's all just girl stuff.
Oh, really?
With like a smattering of dude stuff mixed in. That's what I felt anyway. And there wasn't really that much there to pick from at the moment.
No.
It only just launched.
They do say that they're going to add some more.
I hope so.
Yes. But yeah, you launch and the
so
first
what do
thing...
you actually do in this thing, Shane?
I don't actually know.
No one knows.
I've played a little bit of it, as much as you can. At the moment, because it's only new, you can't do much. But so you go in, your me walks around this little room. Every now and then, Nintendo will send questions, and you have to answer the questions, and it gives you gold.
Good fun. It's like they're really trying to get to know you, you know?
Yeah. Yes. You can add friends. The only way to add friends currently is either be physically in person with them, and you have to put in some sort of code, and then if someone else close to you puts in the same code, it like matches you somehow. You then can link to Facebook and Twitter, and then it will automatically refresh your Facebook friends to see if they've also added themselves to those social medias.
While it mines all your data out of Facebook?
Yes, Nintendo is mining, possibly. I'm not
unconfirmed at this stage.
Unconfirmed. Nintendo mining data for who knows.
Whatever nefarious things they're up to.
Yes. Yeah, so we haven't actually added each other yet because you got a bit sick of the whole thing, and I did everything last night and then haven't really touched it since.
No.
I jumped on today. I purchased,
Nintendo always makes it so hard to add people as friends. Like, just can't make it simple. They just can't make it simple.
As I like to always say, Nintendo don't understand the internet.
No, or social interaction at all.
No, like they've got Street Pass, but Street Pass is about getting things off random strangers.
Yeah.
And then this is even weirder. So yeah, we don't know what the hell you do in it. You answer questions and they give you gold.
So far, pretty interesting.
Yeah, and you can play these little mini games, but you have to pay gold or pay tokens to actually play these little mini games, which you can then earn clothes. And that's all I know from the game right now. Cool.
Nice.
On to news of the week.
News of the week.
That's the intro. Music.
What do you got first for us, Shane?
So first one, I don't know too much, but first up is some Smash Bros. News.
Oh, of course.
So
Smash 4.
Smash 4, yes.
Trash
I think
4.
this
is sometimes known.
Yeah, by some people, but I think it's definitely a lot more accepted than the Wii one, and we shan't talk about that.
What's the name of the Wii one?
That would be Brawl.
Oh, good. I was wondering if you knew that or not.
Yeah, imagine if I said Melee.
Well, you keep referring to it as the Wii one.
I know,
It's just called Brawl.
Sometimes I forget, so I say just the Wii one.
That's okay.
Smash
4. People have uncovered. The one thing that set apart Melee and Smash 4 really so far was just people were a bit underwhelmed with the movement and mobility. Didn't have stuff in it like wave dashing, L cancelling, all that advanced stuff.
All those techniques. So briefly, what is wave dashing? Briefly explain wave dashing. It's
just like a series of inputs you put in that make you scoot around the ground in
really
Melee.
Fast.
It's just you air dodge into the ground after you jump really quickly. Basically, that's how I'd put it.
And it kind of looks like you're
scooting around.
Scooting around,
Swoop.
yeah.
Scoot around. There's Mario.
Yeah. So some players in Smash 4 have actually
Japanese players.
Now, I think this technique's been around for a little while, but it's only just starting to kind of be discovered as a lot easier or a lot faster movement than it used to when it first was discovered. It's called Bidoo.
Bidoo.
Bidoo?
After the chicken.
And it's a way of kind of doing
You could do some advanced stuff on it. I watched the video. I was pretty impressed with it. I wouldn't learn how to do it, though, because it looks way harder than, should be necessary. Basically, you have to remap your controller so that you have special move in the left trigger, special move in the right stick, and then everything else is kind of normal shifted around, because I'm not really too familiar with Smash 4 on the Pro Controller anyway, and you can only use a Pro Controller to do it. Well, you can technically use a GameCube controller, but it would be hard to map it to do it good.
The thing that I found that makes it quite hard, I guess, for people, especially if you're trying to do this as much as you can in Melee, is that you have to pretty much constantly hold down the left trigger.
Yeah.
And that you may get a bit... Some people may get a bit tired.
Get used to it, I reckon. Oh no, my finger has to be...
But if you're...
The resistance the trigger is pushing out. I can't deal with it.
If you're in a tournament, you're doing, a good...
A billion inputs.
Yeah.
A second.
Yeah. But yeah, you do have to remap a controller. In tournaments, I've been told... or
they don't like that.
A lot of tournaments ban the Wii U Pro Controller.
Ban even?
Yes, some people have actually said that tournaments are
wireless. They don't like the wirelessness, I think.
And it must just be... I don't know, because I always found using the Pro Controller harder to play.
You haven't even explained what Bidoo does yet, man.
You go.
Okay, so basically you can do stuff that's akin to wave dashing. It kind of looks like wave dashing to me. You could do frame-perfect pivoting. You can do perfect ledge grabbing and stuff like that, and ledge hopping and stuff. There's a whole bunch of good, cool tech you could do from it that they've discovered, and you can find that video on YouTube. I don't know, Google it. I don't know.
Yeah, Bidou.
That's it, man. Look it up.
Look it up. So yeah, you can give it a go, but
so back to the points that you were making before.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, apparently tournaments will ban the Pro Controller,
and that's you got to remember that with Melee. They found all these exploits and stuff, but what could they do about it? The game had already shipped,
Yep.
What are they going to do? Patch it?
Nope.
But they can with Smash 4,
They can,
and
just
update it.
They do these sorts of things. So there is a very big chance that this kind of tech may be patched out, or they may embrace it, considering it's very hard to pull off.
It depends how big it gets, you know. I think it'll have to get big before they will patch it, if you know what I mean. We'll see at least one major where I would really hope that someone represents and does Bidoo tech, because it actually looks really cool, and I would really like to see it like applied. I reckon if you could like get really decent at it and do it against people who didn't know how to do it, you'd have a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it'll definitely give you a lot. Well, obviously, movement advantage, and if you're definitely playing against someone who's like, they're good at Smash 4, but didn't want to look into these super hard advanced techniques. You can actually then, even if your skill say isn't as high as them in a normal Smash 4 match, having this advanced techniques to then do a lot more than they can, you'll definitely like surprise a lot of people.
For sure, man. Evo 2016, the place to watch. I think that'll be the next major. I'm not sure.
Yes, we'll just have to
keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out on those patch notes.
Yeah, and soon everyone will be doing Bidoo. Soon.
Yes, soon everyone will be remapping controllers and.
Wouldn't be the worst thing. Wouldn't be the worst thing if that happened, because right now Smash 4 is like unwatchable for me anyway.
Oh, why is that?
So boring. So snoring.
Oh, okay.
It's nowhere near as good as Melee. And the last one I watched, they let you have customs on. Hey, you can talk about how like friggin' tournaments want to ban pro controllers and stuff like that.
They should ban customs.
Yeah, it was the worst thing, most stalling thing I've ever seen ever.
So customs actually, so obviously, Smash Bros has a range of characters that have exact set by Nintendo moves, skill sets, everything like that. Customs allow you to create a fighter who's you can skill how you want and, you know, adjust all of your move skills and everything like that. So it makes it very hard for someone to play
on certain
against
characters, yeah. Especially Villager was a really bad one. You could just balloon all day long, and I forget the combo because I fell asleep watching the matches because it was so boring.
Wow.
Didn't care for it much, so Smash 4, you had to impress me on a competitive level. It's sure as hell fun to play though.
Oh yeah.
No doubt about it.
Cool. Now on to the next one. This is so I haven't played this game, but
neither have I. The story is interesting though.
Definitely, yeah. So I believe it was a husband and wife. They released a game called That Dragon Cancer. Now the game is it's.
If you go back to last week when we were talking about the difference between a game and an experience,
this is on the latter end of.
This is more like an experience, I think. It looked like it'd be pretty good because a pretty good experience. Well, like I don't know about maybe good isn't the right word. It would be an interesting experience.
Yes.
Because it's about them losing their child to cancer, which is like heavy themes right there.
Yeah.
But so they made this game and they put it out, and I think it got a bit of notice in the media because, you know, of the themes and stuff like that.
Yeah. And Let's Players picked it up.
They liked it.
So Let's Players picked it up, and they've been playing it. And the developer
making videos, these quote unquote content creators
have been making playthroughs of the game.
And then monetizing these videos.
Which is a standard practice for a lot of Let's Players.
I don't think they let you monetize them at all anymore. I thought they changed that, but I guess not.
It depends on I know Nintendo are very against it.
Well, of course they are. It's Nintendo. They don't like fan movies or anything like that.
No. So anyway, That Dragon Cancer launched. The developer did come out and say that they have had a pretty decent. They've enjoyed the response they've gotten from the game.
Haven't made a buck.
No,
haven't seen a single ROI on that game. That's a return of investment for all you non-business people. I think everyone knows that.
I think so. So what happened is the Let's Players started getting letters from YouTube.
Cease and desists. No, copyright claim.
Copyright claims to say that the video's got a content ID claimed against it. Now, this hasn't so much been claimed against the game.
No.
It's been claimed against
the music in the game.
The music, the soundtrack. So the developers come out and said, look, we are making pretty much no money on it. And
it's also not to say that he wants the videos taken down. He just wants the monetization should go to the guy who made the music that's featured in the game, featured in the video. It should go to him, which I think is totally fair enough. But now they've gone and like reversed the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter because Let's Players got all upset.
Yeah.
Because this was their day job, making these videos. These quote unquote content creators.
Wow.
Upset. I'm totally on this dev side. I think like that's so lame.
Because what's happening is the Let's Players are buying the game, they're playing it, they're getting a lot of views from this game.
They're getting ad revenue off of it.
They get ad revenue. The developer is saying that look, they're glad that their experience is being shown.
Yeah, but the problem is that people are buying the game. They're not buying the game. They're just watching.
They're watching someone play it, so they're not getting either the first-hand experience, and the developer is not earning money from people actually.
But that's also the other side of it, though, isn't it? It's not really the Let's Player's fault that people would rather watch his game than play his game. Maybe if he had made his game a bit like, and that being said, I haven't played the game.
No.
If he had made it a bit more like a game, a bit less like an experience or a video, I think it would have seen a bit more sales.
Yeah.
So, in that way, it's a kind of... Both people are wrong, really, I suppose. That's the way I look at it anyway. I don't know what your thoughts are. But.
I mean, I am sad that obviously the developer... They poured their heart into it, and then that's also why the developer's actually upset for the composer more so than themselves.
That's what he says he's upset for.
Yes, the composers hasn't received any money for all these videos, rather than actually trying to show the upset for themselves not getting the money.
Yeah.
The tough thing is when you make a game, as you said, when you make a game that is an experience, a lot of people are actually... More people probably watch Let's Plays than actually play the games.
I wonder how that's those statistics, which we don't have, but how they sort of play across like other games, as well. Like how many people would rather watch Dark Souls than play Dark Souls because it's so hard,
Yeah, but
we're definitely in that generation. I guess you'd call it the Minecraft generation of gamers, where a lot of kids just aren't interested in playing games. They just rather be involved in watching YouTube because it's a more social thing, and they can feel like they can interact with not only the Let's Player themselves, but the people who comment on the video as well.
Yeah, like I find...
and it's way easier, which people want easier and easier games.
Yeah. I find the Let's Plays I watch not so much for the game, like I watch for the actual personality a lot of the time. I don't know if that's a thing, but so I'll watch a bunch of channels and it doesn't matter what game they're playing, I'll watch the video. A lot of the times I don't sort out, say if a game's coming out and I really want to...
I want to see some gameplay. I want to see what the game is like and think, will I have fun when I play this?
Yeah. Yeah, and the tough thing is with the
game... wow, I'm experiencing the game right now. Like, no.
Well, yeah, the tough thing is with the game that's an experience is that you can get a very similar feeling from watching it.
That's just what we call it, too. An experience. True. Some people will call it a walking simulator.
Yes, but
not a game.
I haven't actually watched much videos about that dragon cancer, so I'm not too sure how much interaction is there. But
I think he shouldn't have... Do you think he should have retracted the claims that were made?
That's tough. I guess more so than you, I'm into YouTubers being able to do YouTube to make a living. But it's a tough ground. I don't think there's even many laws really in place for this, but it is a tough ground between someone who's actually pretty much using someone else's content to bring money to them.
It's not their content. Go
No.
if you're if you're so worried at it to the point where it's just like, oh, they're taking my money away from me. Go make your own content. Go make your own game. Go make your own music. Go make your own videos that aren't about either of those things. You know. Otherwise, it's just a hobby.
But the YouTuber.
Please donate to the Patreon of this podcast.
The YouTube or personality.
The e-celebrity.
They do have to have a certain personality and vibe to how they play the games and what they say to bring the audience. So they are still doing the job of turning it on and bringing. Yeah.
So does David Letterman get a cut of like? Well, that's a bad example because he's not.
He's not anymore, but
he gets musical guests come on the late night show, plugs their material.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a cut of the album sales.
No, I would like if a developer, especially small indie developers, if they're seeing a market for their game being played on a Let's Play, I would like them to be able to still make some money off of that. I don't think they should take it all. I still think the YouTuber who went to the effort of making the video, editing it, uploading it, and being that personality should still be able to make money off.
How much? So you're saying like a percent split? Is that what you're saying?
Somewhat, but it's very hard to.
I think that would be the best way.
It would.
So you could have 40% go to the developer, 40%, 45% go to the music person, and 5% go to the YouTuber. Or something like that. Maybe you could change the numbers around.
But the money in YouTube is so small per view anyway.
Yeah, so why are they complaining about it?
Yeah. I don't know. It's sad that
I'd be interested to know if anyone else, any other developer has similar quandaries. Or maybe it's just this one guy.
Well, what I have seen as well, it was quite a while ago, but something like a content ID thing like this, some developers use it as a way of getting rid of bad reviews. And I think that is completely not on. Like, there was a game, I won't mention anything about it, but there was a game that came out. It was then YouTube personality made a video, like a review about it, and said that this game is shit. Like, they didn't straight out come out and say this game is shit. They showed how the game was shit. They showed what it did wrong. And then the developer of that game got a bit butthurt and then lodged a content ID claim against that YouTuber and had the video removed based on the copyright.
Yeah, but these small-time devs sometimes are really dumb. Like, these are the same kind of people, like that guy who told said he was going to kill Gabe Newell.
That was awesome.
Some of these people don't think, and they're like entitled people, you know.
Exactly,
some of them, not all of them, certainly not.
Yeah. But I coming back to this, just wrapping up, I guess. I am sad.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, it is sad that it's possible for someone to make a video of someone else's game and make more money than the person who made the game. That is definitely sad, but
we don't even know how much more.
No, they're not saying. But it definitely is. That is just how things are going these days. Like, more people are willing to.
Yeah, get with it.
Yeah.
As in, people should get with it.
Get with what?
The fact that people are more interested in watching Let's Plays than
playing
the game.
for the game. Yeah.
For one, and then some other point I don't recall. I think the whole thing is kind of silly, but interesting.
Very interesting.
I think it might, if it hasn't already, set a precedent for Let's Players.
Yeah, I do wonder if a YouTube are going to use this as a look at their current policy to see if they need to change it again.
Remains to be seen.
Because it's still a very grey area, the whole using someone else's game to play it and then make money off of it.
The digital age.
Yes.
Remains to be seen.
Yes. Cool. Next thing, briefly going back to VR that we talked about last week.
Oh, yes. Every week VR. We're up to the VR corner of the show.
Yeah, so Oculus has started shipping. Oculus
What's
Rift.
that? What's an Oculus Rift?
It is a virtual reality headset.
That was a joke. Everyone knows who Oculus is. Sorry, I just completely interrupted you.
That's fine. So they actually started shipping.
Very good.
So the pre-orders were, I don't know when
Serial
they were,
number 000001.
Yes. So a lot of people still haven't received their pre-orders because I think...
Have you received yours?
I did not pre-order.
Oh.
Anyone wants to send me one, dev kit 1, 2, or consumer release, feel free. Drop us an email.
The PO box is down below.
Just send it to my PO box.
Yeah.
It'll be a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So the founder of Oculus, I think his name is Palmer. Jimbo. His name is actually Mr. Oculus.
Oh, yes.
He decided look, we're shipping them. He didn't want the first consumer release to, I believe his exact comments.
You can paraphrase.
Yeah, I can't find it. His exact comments were he doesn't want some random courier delivering the first Oculus consumer release.
The first one. So he might leave it out in the sun.
I don't think
he might drop the box.
You never know what he did with it before he delivered it.
I'd really hate to be the second person to get an Oculus.
Well, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, we'd be like, oh man.
Yeah, that's true.
Mine came broken. This one hit this guy hand delivered.
That's true. And then he was there to then unbox it, QA it.
Nice photo op too.
Yes, true. Which I think that's why we're talking about it. So, Palmer or Mr. Oculus, he actually
Oliver Rift.
He hand delivered the original Oculus Rift. I don't know how. He obviously made sure that all the other shipments were delayed to make sure that this was the first one. So he hand delivered.
He made a quick call after he did this one.
Yeah, he actually traveled to Alaska.
From where?
I just believe somewhere in the States.
But from where? It becomes more interesting the further he had to travel, does it not? What if he came from Florida to Alaska? That's pretty far.
That's pretty far.
But if he came from
probably just be Silicon Valley.
If he came from Washington, that's not very far at all. That's just down the road.
Is it?
Oh, well, you gotta go through Canada, but that's about as close as you can get. Yeah.
To be fair, I know nothing about. They're in. Oh, here we go. They're in California, so they're pretty much in Silicon Valley, which is it's still pretty far. Like it's still in the.
That's like going from Mackay to Brisbane.
Anyway, so he traveled to Alaska, and obviously very cold in Alaska, to hand deliver the first Oculus.
Was he wearing gloves? Was it heated?
Not from the photo ops, but he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Very
Californian.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Hawaii a bit more.
Yeah. So it was hand signed by a bunch of the original team.
They wrote the signatures on the screen. On the glass on the inside.
So then you can know you're number one.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then he was there to open it up, I guess, make sure it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And then he left.
I wonder if the guy was disappointed. Did the person who received it make any comments on what the experience was like? Was he sure. I actually thought it would be bigger. I thought it would be better. The battery doesn't really last too long.
Well, it's not battery powered. It's got to be cabled.
Solar powered.
So I don't think you get much solar power in Alaska.
Hydro powered. Hydroelectricity.
Yeah.
No.
Don't know.
That was that was a heartwarming story though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean the hearts of gamers are warmed, but not much else is in Alaska.
No.
Quick next topic. Quick fire. Bam. Don't know if you've heard about this. There's a game.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Cobra Club.
Cobra Club, huh?
Now,
sounds cool.
From that name alone, what would you think the game is about?
Snakes.
It's about some sort of snakes. The snakes in a
and
man's
hitting
pants.
snakes over the head with a heavy stick.
Yes. No, it's about two types of. It's a snake, and it's a club at times. It's about a man's
a trouser snake.
Now the game is all about. It's a very small game. I don't know why
that correctly.
Don't know why it exists.
Why does Grass Simulator exist? They just do.
I don't know, but we played the hell out of it.
These people are out on the cutting edge. They are pushing the boundaries of what video games
can be
are
and what they are.
When Roger Ebert said that video games weren't art, that's because he had never played this game.
No.
Cobra Club.
This game, Cobra Club.
And you played it.
I played it for like 5 minutes.
Tell us your impressions of this game.
So you turn the game on. The game is about
PC game, right?
PC, Mac, Linux. The game is about being a man, taking a photo
Of what?
of your junk.
Of your genitalia.
Of your genitalia. So you open the game up.
In the mirror? Or does he
In the mirror.
angle
Mirror
it down?
selfie in the bathroom.
Okay. Has he got his leg up? Can you put the leg up and down?
No, I think they should definitely add that.
That'll be the update. Is it early access? Did you pay for this game?
No, it's free.
Okay.
It's free.
Did you get it on Steam?
No, it's
People want to know where they
website.
can get this game from.
It's through their website. Just Google Cobra Club. Apparently, the reason that it's free
I'm
is
sure people.
because PayPal will not. I think briefly summed up. PayPal will not allow payments made for content that is pornographic.
No.
So they're not able.
And just
to
how
use PayPal.
pornographic is it?
Well, you see full frontal male genitalia, and you get to. From what I see, you can customize it. My version didn't seem to have the customization, but you could definitely change your skin color, the bathroom tile color.
How many different skin colors did they have?
I think there's like 6.
That's a good amount. How many
you
different bathroom tiles did they have?
It's a hue setting, so you can.
Oh,
pretty
the
much
color.
Yeah.
Can you get really saturated, like green?
You can. There's
purple?
filters. There's like Instagram filters.
That doesn't answer my question.
No, somewhat.
You know how like even like some character creation they'll let you do the skin tone.
Oh, like
It's just a weird
really-
slider, and you can just fully saturate all the way up purple.
Yeah. No, you can't really do that in this, sadly.
Oh.
But it is just for the bathroom tiles. You can't. There's no slider for skin color.
Is the mirror dirty?
No, the mirror is
Clean.
It's a clean mirror, and from what I can see, I didn't want to do the online mode, but from what
Why
I can
not?
see, it's pretty much.
I
like-
really want to know what the online.
Maybe we'll do a let's play. If you want to see a let's play of this game,
Yes, please mail us.
let us know in either the mailbox or comment on this video, and we may do a playthrough of this game. I will play this game.
Is there any music in the game that we can not get a claim for
I hope not.
when we do our let's play?
I'll mute it. I'll make sure it's muted.
Make sure we turn our
We'll
ads on.
put our own music on it.
Okay.
So I will play. I will get my virtual penis out so that you don't have to.
Okay, good. Take one for the team. I like it.
Yes. So anyway, the game's out. It's been out for a little while. The main reason we're talking about it
Yeah,
is
why are we talking?
the developer this week has decided
Oh.
that he wants to update the graphic details of the penis.
Yeah?
So he tweeted out he's doing a HD game update.
Ooh.
6K plus polygon dick, strap-ons,
His words.
and foreskin support. Now he's then followed up with a second tweet. For your reference, there are more polygons in this 3D dick than an entire Half-Life 2 character.
What?
So the game is actually
my
being...
God.
The update is actually being debuted at a festival in
Oh
London.
my. In London.
It's called Now Play This, and
Crikey.
it's apparently a festival that's about
Look at that dick.
what games can do that aren't thought of normal games.
This isn't a game. This is an experience.
But from what I played,
Has it got VR support?
I damn well hope so.
Oh man.
From
Maybe
what
that's what the guy who got the first Oculus Rift was playing.
Cobra Club VR.
Comes pre-installed. Only on the Oculus Rift, an OR exclusive.
I would definitely play that.
Yeah?
Yep. Straight up. Now
So lots of polygons, that's great.
lots of polygons.
That's what you want.
Yes. Now the game has somewhat of like a dating messaging system. I don't know how that works, but
Ah,
I will find out for you
Social.
if you want us to play.
okay. We'll explore into this game more. I'm liking the sounds of it already. This might already be Game of the Year, I think. If
Yes.
it came out this year, I think.
I think actually it hasn't entered full release yet.
Early
I
access.
I think games are allowed to be in early access or in alpha beta
Mm-hmm.
and not classed as being released for So if a game came out in alpha in 2015 but then got released in 2016,
Yeah.
I believe it still can be categorized as...
It's like asking what year Minecraft came out.
Oh, yeah. Who knows? Anyway, moving from that game to another small game.
Little games.
Now, this game was released on Steam. I say released. It's called Watch Paint Dry.
What's it about? What do you do in the game? Is it a third-person survival zombie crafting game?
Look, unlike every other game currently released on Steam, no.
Oh, it's different, huh?
It's slightly different.
Oh, how's it different?
Now, the game is actually... it's a 45-second long game.
45 seconds.
Where you get to watch paint dry.
For 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
What kind of paint is this that can dry that quickly?
Oh, well, I don't think it actually is fully dry by the end, but...
Oh, so is it going to be like an episodic game?
Well,
is this like just episode 1 that's come out and they'll do 5? And then you watch paint dry complete?
I don't think this game will ever be released again.
Oh, why is that? What makes you say that?
So the developer was actually a 16-year-old guy who apparently is not a game developer. Oh. He found a way to obviously create a game, add it to the Steam store, make it live without going through the Greenlight program or getting Valve's approval. Now, the game was actually launched and on Steam through him doing some sort of lead hacks.
He was hacking it, huh?
He was hacking.
He hacks into Steam. And with all the things you could do with the ability to hack into Steam, he innocently decided to just upload a game of his own. A real boring game, apparently.
Now, apparently, he's not a game developer.
How long? Do you know how long the game was up there for?
I'm not too sure on that, like if there's exact numbers, but I believe Valve jumped on it pretty damn quick.
They'd be angry.
They would be pretty angry.
Did they offer him a job?
I don't know. There may be more to come out of this.
Maybe it'll be like, I don't know, when the FBI catches someone who's eluded them for so long. They're like, yeah, you know how things work. We'd like to offer you a job.
I would like to think that he can actually work at Valve as like either a game developer, because obviously...
Yeah, he could be the they'll put him as head guy as Half-Life 3.
Yeah. He can be head of the marketing team, watching paint dry Half-Life 3.
Yeah. Is there VR support for that game? Watching paint dry? Oh, that'd be great, though.
It would. So yeah, that's kind of interesting that someone was actually able to do that, especially a 16-year-old kid.
Good for him. I hope he doesn't go to jail for this.
I hope not. The one thing I just wanted to... Apparently what he said about the thing...
The kid said...
He was really tempted to call it Half-Life 3. But he decided that they may get a bit too pissed off.
We made the same sort of joke.
Half-Life 3. Because he did not want to get sued.
No.
Funny stuff.
He's careful about it. Good kid.
Yeah. Now, onto
more depressing Valve news.
Valve news, yes. Now, this is it's about a battle that's been going for 18 months
between a company named Valve.
Yep.
And a country named Australia. Boy, oh boy, they have quite a history, don't they?
More the ACCC, which is the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission.
I know it well.
I know it well slightly from my line of work, but they pretty much...
They're the sheriff around here when it comes to fair trade.
Fair trade, anything to do with consumer law.
They're looking out for the little guy.
Looking out for every little guy in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess what happened was the case originally started back in 2014. This was back before Valve had a refund policy.
Yes.
Now, the ACCC and the Australian consumer law states, now not going into this too heavily, but it does state that there needed to be a fair refund policy.
Yes, because I learned this recently in my business class. According to the ACCC, you cannot have it that your refund policy is that you do not give refunds under any circumstances.
Yeah.
You have to have circumstances under which you'll give a refund.
Yeah. Now, the consumer law covers pretty much anything that can be sold or traded in Australia. The consumer law tries to cover ways of allowing that to be fair trade.
Yep. So they were like, "We're gonna sue you, Steam, you dicks, because you don't let Aussies bloody get a refund, you know?
No.
What if the game's shit?
Can't take it back.
What if you could buy Grass Simulator?
Grass Simulator, and
you watch paint dry.
Watch paint dry, and you're like, you know what? I was really into this game. I played it. Did not meet my
satisfaction.
My satisfaction as a consumer in Australia. Now, Valve at the time would just say, no problem.
Fuck off.
Because they're American. And that's how Americans like to deal with things, apparently. Now,
Aussies. I'm Gabe Newell. I'm from Seattle.
Is that how Seattle people talk?
No.
Now, the way the ACCC found out a bit about this, apparently, is a couple people had complained to the Consumer Commission about they can't get refunds.
Yeah.
Now,
some games you really want a refund for.
You do, yeah, because as a consumer, a lot of the times I found, at least in my retail daily life, is the people who know about the consumer law are the people who are trying to get more than what they should get.
Yeah, they're trying to exploit the system.
Yes, but the people who may not know about the
people who want a free garlic bread for no reason.
Yeah. The people who know about the consumer law don't know about the consumer law. Sorry, are normally the people that it helps protect without them even knowing. Now, the ACCC sued Valve and saying, look, there needs to be a refund policy.
Yeah, and the whole thing it boiled down to was them saying that, and then Valve's defense was, we don't actually really sort of operate in Australia. We don't really sell in Australia. I mean, Australians can buy our stuff, but they're really doing it in America. But what they're really doing it is on the internet. So that creates a whole sort of legal problems.
Yeah,
because
now
the internet not legislated it that well.
Yeah, now Valve were also trying to go back to the courts and say, look, we do not think that computer software or the software that's provided on Steam can legally be counted as goods under the consumer law. That was their major defense.
And this all went on the Australian federal court, by the way.
Yes, yeah. So we had the home turf.
Had the home field advantage.
And
we were looking to get rid of Valve once and for all. Take all their money from them.
Refund all the games ever sold in Australia. And make them bankrupt.
Payback for what they did for the censorship.
Payback for Half-Life 3.
Yeah. Left 4 Dead 2, the censorship. Why?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
How could you cow down to our own... Whatever board does that. Forget the name. You know the one.
I know the one. I mean, and then they brought in the R18 law, and then they still didn't re-release the game. Oh, God. Yeah. Anyway, that's really nothing to do with Valve per se. That's more about... That's when the Australian government was horrible.
The point is, there's old wounds there.
Yes, there is.
Australians are vulnerable when it comes to this stuff.
Yes, and especially when it comes to...
We don't want to feel like we're being taken advantage of, or that people are laughing at us behind our backs.
No. They laugh.
Well, we laugh with them because we don't care.
No, we don't care. Now,
and the real funny thing is this whole story is pointless because Valve have ended up... They've done it.
Yes.
They did that ages ago.
Well, Valve, yeah, they did bring in the refund policy late last year, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so about the suit is Valve said this and that, and then the Australian court pretty much went, no, the definition of goods does include computer software. I believe it was amended like a couple years ago to include computer software, not just physical discs,
but digital discs
which is
as
what
well.
It used to be. And also, they where is this quote? It's
come on now.
It's quite interesting. They said, look, you've set up servers in Australia. You're selling to Australian customers through an American portal, but you've got services and you do follow certain policies, outlaid by the Australian law. So we have to class you as being a goods sold in Australia to Australians. You can't pull the whole, we're selling it from America, like that kind of thing. It's different. Like, it's different when it comes to, I guess, software, Australian buying it software, compared to if someone was to import something from America.
Like a fine whiskey.
Yeah. So if you were to import a whiskey from
a case
Australia
of whiskey
from America to Australia,
and
actually, whiskey doesn't make sense.
Cubans.
Say you were to buy a computer from America, buy it in Australia in American money to an American reseller, and then have that shipped to Australia. That device, even though you are Australian purchasing it, because it was sold within Australia. Sorry, not sold within Australia. It's not covered by the consumer law. But because the government have found that the way Valve and Steam operate is that they are both selling goods and they are selling it within Australia, that they do actually have to implement this refund policy, and they have to class this in pretty much selling in Australia to Australians. The one thing that pissed me off that I wanted to quickly touch on is that Valve are trying to say that, look, we're a Washington-based company, our terms of service are based within Washington, and all of our goods are being sold from America, but from America. But a lot of the time, the games that are on Steam are being sold in US dollars, but because we're purchasing through an Australian account, through Australian servers...
Yeah, they jack up the damn prices.
They've jacked up the price, yeah.
They do that in a lot of countries.
Yeah, so I don't know how they can claim that they're selling a goods from America if they're selling it to us, a digital product which makes there's no difference in terms of shipping or anything. Selling it in US dollars, but at the higher price. So there are games on Steam that their US dollar matches what it would pay for me to walk down to the store and buy it. But because of the currency conversion, I'm actually giving them more money than I'm giving a physical product sometimes.
Well, the average American pays, I think $60 is like the max they would pay for like a...
$60 is like a AAA title.
Yeah.
To them,
the new Call of Duty, the new FIFA comes out, day one, $60 USD.
And that's a lot of money for a game.
Geez, has it gone up to 120 now? Double that now?
It's starting to go back down.
It was at least 110 for a new game.
Oh man, it was
not that I bought one for a while, but
a lot of the stores in Australia that sell just games or sell electronic media, like JB Hi-Fi, EB Games, Game Trader, stuff like that, they will. I find that their prices are normally a little bit higher most of the time than stuff like the big box retailers like Target, Big W.
Yeah.
I think it is starting to even out a bit. I think the RRP is being matched a lot more evenly. But the big box retailers, or I don't know if I can call them that, but Big W, Target, sometimes JB Hi-Fi, they're more willing to do a sale on them and actually sell them at a cheaper price than EB Games are willing to do that these days. But the price of a Nintendo game, say, is like $90. And if $90 for a physical product, which is just a disc, but
not even a manual,
no manual. It's a lot of money.
Feels like nothing in your hand.
No, yeah. When I open a Wii U game, it feels like I haven't gotten any meat.
Feels like you've been robbed.
And then speaking of things like that, I guess with Nintendo's eShop online and...
Oh, yeah, pay out the ass for that too.
And you pay full retail on that, which I don't... It pisses me off because I'm not getting a physical copy of the disc. But unlike Valve, they're charging in Australian dollars at an Australian price of what it pretty much is anywhere else. Where Valve will just slap most of the games, they'll slap a price on it, which is in US dollars, but has actually been upped in price a bit. And then we then have to pay more to currency convert that. It just seems like them trying to say that they're not they're selling it as just in America. It's just a bit
tough.
sketchy to me.
It's tough for Australians, and we finally stood up and said that ain't right, mate.
Nope. So
now there's going to be another hearing, isn't there?
Yes. So initially,
where Australia will pass down judgment onto Valve and make them pay reparations to all of us.
Yes. Initially, the ACCC said, look, you need to have an email address set up for refunds policy. I guess that's been done. But talking about Valve support, we don't want to talk about that. They have to provide a 1-800 number. I'm not too sure if they will do that, as they are still... They don't physically trade with Australia.
You pay for the 1-800, or is it the 1-300 you don't pay for?
1-300, I believe. I think that's why the ACCC want the 1-800 number, because it's not paid. They want a PO box address for customers to deal with refunds.
$5 coins.
I'd like to see how that happens.
Yeah.
And they want an appointed representatives to reply to customers. Now,
but most of all, we want an apology.
We would definitely like an apology.
You just want Gabe Newell to come out, give a quick apology, get a quick booting, and then just be done with it, you know?
Yeah. I think The Simpsons showed how we need to treat punishment to Americans.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Now, look, booting in Australian, that shouldn't be done. I don't think. I think the boot should be just for Americans.
Yeah?
Yep.
For international
I don't
acts
know.
of... No, just Americans, huh?
Just Americans, yes. Yeah.
What about after we blow up America, though?
I don't think we can talk about that now.
Okay, we'll leave that for another time.
But yes, the April 15th is when they're having the final discussion, or hopefully final discussion.
Be sure to tune in, because we'll have a podcast come out sometime around then. That's a Tuesday.
The cool thing is, though,
no, it's not.
That the rest of the world
doesn't
can now thank us.
Yeah, we've opened the
Valve's
floodgates.
refund policy. Because I don't think Valve would have implemented a refund policy if this trial did not happen. I think they would have just stuck to their guns.
You're welcome, rest of the world.
You're welcome. If you're listening...
Don't mention it, rest of the world.
Look, this one's
Forget
on
about
us.
it, rest of the world.
The next one is on you.
Yeah. It's up to you now.
It's up to you.
We've done our bit.
We have.
Me and Shane, personally, we've done our bit.
Personally, out there, on Valve's door, sort of.
You don't have to thank me. Although it would be nice if you did.
It would be nice. I guess we'll just have to pat ourselves on the back.
Yes.
Cool. That's pretty much all the topics we wanted to cover.
That's it, baby.
We've actually gone through them a lot quicker than we did last week.
Well, that's good, though.
It is good.
It was a bit of a slow week anyway.
Oh, yeah, some interesting things did happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yes, so this has been our second episode.
Thank you very much for listening.
We have set up a mailbag now.
We have an email.
We have an email address.
Send us an electronic mail if you'd like. What's that address, Shane?
It is...
P.O. Box?
There's no P.O. Box. No one uses P.O. Boxes anymore. Do they?
I don't. Give them the address.
Yes, it is mattshanevideogame.
No spaces.
At gmail.com. It will be linked. We will put the link to that in the description of either the SoundCloud or the YouTube video, or wherever else you're listening.
Please send us all your hate mail, all your questions, opinions on things we've talked about, things you'd like us to talk about. I don't know, what else?
I know, if you've got any suggestions, or...
Just say hi.
Yeah, just say, hey, we want to know if it actually works.
Yeah, nice. Please test it out. We have no idea. I've never used an email before.
No, I pretty much stick to carrier pigeon.
And PO boxes.
Yeah. What I do is, my PO box is, it's a pigeon official box.
Okay.
And I actually have carrier pigeons in the box. My PO box.
Okay.
And it's actually the box that I keep them in.
Very good.
Yes. So send us an email. Any suggestions? If there's any Let's Plays or games you want us to try that you think are interesting, we'll try them out.
Okay. Yes. And until next time, bye.